This is vinegar, also known as acetic acid or ethanolic acid. This is an acne cleanser. It contains salicylic acid.
This is Coca-Cola, a common soft drink. It contains carbonic acid, and it also contains phosphoric acid. This is lemon juice. It contains citric acid and ascorbic acid. This is rust remover. It contains glycolic acid. This is an oven cleaner. It contains sodium hydroxide.
This is Tums. It is a type of antacid, and it contains magnesium hydroxide. This is Windex, a type of glass cleaner. It contains ammonia. Did you know that
Acids turn blue litmus paper red, have a pH less than 7, conduct in an aqueous solution, so they're an electrolyte, react with metals to produce H2 aqueous, taste sour, and feels liquid? Did you know
that bases turn red litmus paper blue, have a pH greater than 7, conducts in an aqueous solution, is an electrolyte, does not react with metals, tastes bitter? Did you know that neutral solutions
have a pH equal to 7, does not change the color of litmus paper, its conductivity varies, its reaction with metals varies, its taste varies, and it feels liquid?
Frosty, the acid man, knows the 6 strong acids to know. He's here to teach you what they're called and the chemical formulas to know.
First, there's HClO4 aqueous, which is known as perchloric acid, and then there's hydroiodic acid, which has the formula of HI aqueous.
Now, here's the next 3 acids he'd like to share with you. There's hydrobromic acid, that is known as HBr aqueous. Next is HCl aqueous, which is known as hydrochloric acid. And then there's sulfuric acid, which has the formula as H2SO4 aqueous.
Now, don't you go anywhere, because there's still what you need to know. It's HNO3 aqueous, and it's called nitric acid.
Arrhenius' definition of a strong acid is that in water it completely ionizes and dissociates and dissolves to make high H positive aqueous. An example of this would be HCl solid becomes H positive aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous.
According to Arrhenius, a weak acid is when a chemical ionizes very little to make a low H positive aqueous, mostly just dissolves. An example of this would be H2SO3 solid yields to H2SO3 aqueous.
Arrhenius' definition of a strong base says that when it is in water, it completely dissociates and dissolves to make high OH negative aqueous. An example of this would be NaOH solid decomposes into OH negative aqueous plus Na positive aqueous.
According to the modified Arrhenius definition, a strong acid is a chemical that completely reacts with H2O liquid and dissociates and dissolves to make high HCO positive aqueous. An example of this would be HCl aqueous plus H2O liquid yields to H3O positive aqueous plus Cl negative aqueous.
In Arrhenius' modified definitions, it states that only 50% of the reaction will react with H2O liquid to make a low H3O positive aqueous. An example of this would be H2O aqueous plus H2O liquid becomes H3O positive plus SO3 negative aqueous. Arrhenius' modified definitions for a weak base was that only 50% of the reactions react with H2O to make a low OH negative aqueous. First example is for molecular bases only. It is NH3 gas plus H2O liquid becomes OH negative aqueous plus NH4 positive aqueous. The second one is for ionic bases. It is CaOH 2 solid plus H2O liquid becomes 2OH aqueous plus H2O liquid plus 2Ca2 positive aqueous.
Strong base is a chemical that completely dissociates and dissolves to make a high OH negative aqueous in water. An example of this is NaOH solid yields to OH negative aqueous plus Na positive aqueous. This is the same for both Arrhenius and modified Arrhenius definitions.